What's your best worst pickup line that would never work but is hilarious? Are you sitting on the F5 key cause that but is refreshing? I used it once and it caused a lot of confusion until I explained it and then he laughed a lot. Are you a software update cause not right now? Cute thing looked at me and said Mike, which is not my name. My response was, no, but I'll change my name if you want. She gave out a gut laugh and walked off. Months later she saw me again and started laughing the instant she saw me. I made an impression, just not the one I wanted I guess. Hey, I think we've met before. I've seen you in the dictionary next to the word wow. This was one of my high school freshmen. He did not get her number. In the Cambridge dictionary, that's either woven fabric or wow factor. Back in the day I gave a buddy a pickup line to use. How much does a polar bear weigh? He said it to a girl nearby and she's like IDK like 800 pounds and he responded, yeah that's what I was thinking, around 1,000 pounds, and proceeded to chat her up SMH. I was training a guy on lines at a wedding. I shared this and one of the groomsmen said use that on that girl. I told it to her, including enough to break the ice. She laughed and asked if I knew her line of work. Nope. She said I work with polar bears at the zoo. We had a good conversation but she was married. I overheard a girl in a bar telling her friends goodbye. I simply leaned in and said, don't go. It worked. It worked so well. Timing and spontaneity is everything here. A few beats too late and you'll seem creepy as frick listening in on their conversation. What's a nice guy like you doing in a dirty mind like mine? Yeah, no, that'll work. Hey girl, are you a concrete arch gravity embankment in the Black Canyon on the Colorado River, on the border of Nevada and Arizona, constructed between 1931 and 1936 during the Great Depression and dedicated on the 30th of September, 1935 by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Because damn. OMG, please frick me. So what you'll do is sit at a bar and write on a napkin or post-it note or something. Wanna hang, drink, frick, whatever. Smile equals yes. No equals backflip. Not once has anyone been able to pull off the backflip. You either get a date or the world gets another paraplegic. This one technically did get me laid. I met a girl at a dance at 15 years old. I asked her to dance during a slow song, and during our small talk, I asked, so, what color is your toothbrush? Just the dumbest, most ridiculous question I could think of. Fast forward 8 years at our wedding, and my new wife asks during our first dance, so what color is your toothbrush? I've never been so in love. Wholesome F right here. Nice shoes. They really bring out your boobs. This is interchangeable LOL. My husband recently bought a few pairs of overalls for working on the house yard car. I told him it reminds me of my grandpa, who wore only overalls unless he was going to church on Sundays. Now, when my husband puts his overalls on, I whisper seductively into his ear, hey, granddaddy, you got some hard candy in those pockets for me. He does not find it sexy. It's because you whisper. He is probably hard of hearing at that age, but is embarrassed to let anyone find out, so he just acts out of anger. Try saying it loud and next time, it will probably work. Used this once. I bought a condom in the bathroom at a bar and went back to her and said, hey, do you wanna play with this neat balloon I found? Not mine, but witnessed a man sub 5 featuring tall walk up to a 6-foot+ tall woman, look her up and down and say, I'm gonna climb you like a redwood tree. I, super drunk mind you, once walked up to a girl eating a banana and said the following, I could make a joke about your lunch and my package, but that slow hanging fruit. Actually ended up dating her for a while. Dang girl, are you pizza at a Chinese buffet? Because although I'm not really feeling that right now, I do see you over there and I respect what you're doing. I saw this somewhere and it made me cry laughing. 10/10 would blow someone who said this to me as an icebreaker. Rip your inbox. Okay, a little off base, but I shot a line off once as a joke that actually worked. I was having a really bad night, getting shot down left and right the entire time we were at the club. It seemed like every attempt I made to strike up a conversation with a girl ended not only with rejection, but almost hostility. Finally, I decided to give up and just get drunk. While well on my way to alcoholic oblivion, I found myself at the bar next to a girl who was fairly out of my league. She looked at me, not out of interest, but out of curiosity, checking out who just appeared beside her. Now, I had no real intention of picking her up, just making her laugh a little bit and give her something to talk about with her friends later. I asked her if she was having fun and she told me not really, giving me a vibe suggesting that I was not helping the situation. Yeah, I'm not having much fun either. You wanna blow this place and go throw eggs at cars with me or something? At first, she looked at me like I had completely lost my mind, but then appeared like she was game to testing me to see if I was serious or not. I wasn't until she said, yeah, so we went to Vaughn's, got a couple of dozen eggs, and threw them at cars on the expressway, woke up at her place and dated for a couple of months. She was tons of fun. I met a girl in a bar once extremely intoxicated, and after introducing herself as Amy, I replied with, "You can aim it directly into your mouth." I got slapped. I think you deserve that, lol. Hey, if I asked you out on a date, would your answer be the same as your answer to this question? If they say yes, then that means they'd say yes if you asked them out. If they say no, that means they'd say yes if you asked them out. It's foolproof. Frick off would be the right answer, lol. I used to work in an Italian restaurant in the UK. I worked with a very feisty Spanish girl. All the staff would stay after clean up and have a meal together and get drunk. I was a student at uni, so I'd invite my friends over too. One of my friends really fancied the Spanish girl, but she was really scary. He got pretty stoned one night and got the courage to talk to her. It should be noted he spent his winters teaching skiing in the Spanish Alps. So he sits down next to Susanna and says something in Spanish. She jumps up gilipollas and throws a jug of wine over him. She storms into the kitchen and I go after her. "Susanna, what did he say, piece of crap?" asked me if he kisses like his grandfather. To this day, 20 years later, Dan still doesn't know what he was trying to say. This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. "Excuse me, miss, but would you consider coming to my house for a casual sexual encounter? I have excellent references available upon request. They're in my basement. Just ask them." I used to dress as Jesus when I took my kids out for Halloween. Easy gig. I had long hair and a beard and was about Jesus sized. Bedsheet and one of those olive vine wreaths. Done. So it turns out that the local MILFy moms really have a thing for the J-man. All the parents waiting on the sidewalk while the kids run to the door, and these moms would get kinda flustered. "Oh, hi Jesus." And I'd use my sexy TV voice and lean in and whisper, "Wanna see the Passion of the Christ?" I had something like an Evian or a Zaka bottle but filled with red wine, and I'd point to it and say, 20 minutes ago, this was water, baby. Okay, not as good as that shirt is gonna look great on my floor tomorrow. Do you have pet insurance? Cause I'm about to beat up that pee. I'm a woman and I discovered this online. I still want my BF to say this to me one day. "Hey, can you help me out real quick?" Holds out hand. "Will you hold this while I go for a walk?" It worked a few times, and when it didn't I got some good laughs. Those are the ugliest pants I've ever seen in my life. We need to get you out of those immediately. As long as I have a face, you have a place to sit. We like chocolate and marshmallows. You're hot and I wanna be on top of you. Are you a cigarette? Because you're smoking hot and I want to put your butt in my mouth. What has 2 thumbs and likes BJs? This guy. Feel my sweater. Know what it's made of? Boyfriend material. I wish you were my little toe, so I could bang you on every piece of furniture. Roses are red, lemons are sour. Open your legs and give me an hour. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm using my hand but thinking of you. I want to tickle your belly button from the inside. I'm not a rooster, but watch what this dong'll do to you. My watch says you're not wearing any underwear. Oh, you are? My watch must be 15 minutes fast. Want to come over and listen to a movie with me? I'm hung like a tic tac. Wanna freshen your breath? So you're into fitness? How about fitness dong inside your mouth? I only frick a 6 or better. And you're 7. Roses are red, violets are blue, perms are hard. So am I. Roses are red, grass is greener. When I look at you, I play with my wiener. If I flipped a coin, what would be my chances of getting head? To a pregnant woman. You got room for one more in there? I'm no weatherman, but you can expect more than a few inches tonight. Nice legs. What time do they open? Your daddy must have been a baker, because you've got a nice set of buns. You know, I'd really love to frick your brains out, but someone already beat me to it. All those curves, and me with no brakes. You're so beautiful that you made me forget my pickup line. Smile if you want to sleep with me. Are you an archaeologist? Because I have a large bone for you to examine. We should go someplace with a nice ceiling, because we're just going to be taking turns looking at it. Background. I'm short. 5 feet 3 inches to be exact. My friends know me as the guy who will walk right up to the tallest girl in the bar and say, how would you like to make average sized kids, or let's both acknowledge the obvious attraction here. It's always been a good laugh from them, and I have friends to this day where those were our first words. It's never led to anything romantic, but seeing as how tall gals have similar headaches as shorter men, it's always worked for breaking the ice and having a fun conversation or forming a friendship. I have a friend who is 5 feet 1 inches. He once walked up to the tallest and hottest girl in the place and said, I want to scale you, and it worked. Girl at the bar shouted out, why won't anyone have sex with me? I turned and raised my hand and said, I will have sex with you. Easiest sex I've ever had. It would be fun to collect a bunch of these lines, print them out, carry them to a bar or someplace where there are women hanging around, then try all the lines. I have a bunch of pickup lines here that I got off the internet. Waves piece of paper. Would you listen to them and tell me which ones I should try? Not on you. I'm not flirting with you. I'm just doing research. Help a guy out. Which ones are funny? Women love a sense of humor. She might like me by the time we get through the list. Maybe. Hey baby, you happen to have a CDL? What's a CDL? A commercial driver's license. For that absolute dump truck oven butt. For a long time my Tinder bios simply read the mind of George Costanza and the body of George Costanza. It was both kinda funny and highly effective, honestly. Baby, I'm gonna love you like a blizzard. I'll give you 8 to 10 inches and you won't be able to leave the house for 3 or 4 days. I have one very similar. I wanna treat you like a snowstorm. Give you 4 to 6 inches and make it mildly inconvenient for you to walk afterwards. I was beating this girl at Mario Kart with some friends there and my friend goes, you're meant to let her win. I responded, why? It's not like she's going to frick me. Later that evening we fricked. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.